Hello everyone, this is Riya Singh, currency analyst for Nirmal Bang. So let's look at the dollar and rupee view for the coming session. Now a gauge of the dollar's strength dropped as quickening with respect to the US inflation eroded the greenback's real yield advantage. On the other end, the euro, pound, and yen all have advanced against the greenback, driven in part by the basket selling and falling US Treasury yields. The Treasury yield curve has flattened as traders are awaiting the sale of 30-year debt while weighing into the report that was published last Wednesday, which showed US consumer price to have risen in July by more than expected. Now, there is an expectation of demand with respect to the 30-year bond auction that it will remain solid, sending the Treasury yields lower. Now, easing US yields is making the dollar vulnerable to selling. On the other end, the US has removed some Greek and UK products of the list of its tariffs and largely left the European goods intact after threatening to raise the levies in response to a long-running conflict with respect to the Airbus SE subsidies. Coming to the stimulus talks, they are still stuck with respect to the $1 trillion Dutch milestone. The number of Americans applying for the unemployment benefits fell below 1 million for the first time since the pandemic began in March. The latest figure of the latest figures are showing that there has been a cap on a steep 2-week decline that the US was witnessing in a fraction of nearly 7 million filings one point in March. Still, there are more Americans seeking benefits each week than then at the highest point of following the 2008 financial crisis. So, there is a little chance of agreement on a federal COVID-19 relief plan without a compromise on roughly 1 trillion in aid to beleaguered state and local government that the Democrats demand and the White House opposes. So Democrats have ordered to cut their original stimulus proposal totaling to around 3.5 trillion by roughly one-third, but insist on keeping help for the state, cities and other municipalities. President Donald Trump's negotiator, in addition to rejecting the Democrats' top-line number, have offered to put in more than $150 billion for local assistance. Negotiations are at a standstill heading into 2 weeks in which the Democratic Party then the Republic Party hold their respective presidential nomination convention. So these are the major developments with respect to the dollar. So all in all, dollar fell against most of its Group 10 peers with respect to the data that was released in the past, the consumer data, the filing of the unemployment, and even with respect to the manufacturing data that did show a decline and is at lowest since August 6 at 0.3% fall that we have seen recently. So these are the major factors going on. The bearish into the dollar is coming forth as the hedge funds have turned bearish on the dollar for the first time since May 2018, an indication that the summer slump in the world reserve currency will be prolonged. Net futures and option positions held by the leverage funds against the 8 other currencies have dropped to minus 7,881 contracts last week, according to the data aggregated by the Commodity Future Trading Commission. The swing was driven by the growing bullish bets on the euro. So the dollar has come under increasing pressure late March after the Federal Reserve have pledged unlimited liquidity to support the economy hurt by the COVID-19 pandemic. The central bank's near zero rate policy and asset purchases have also driven down the inflation adjusted 10-year yields to an all-time low, making the US assets less attractive. So it's unclear if any rebound in the currency will have legs, especially as the US presidential election is approaching and the Fed is expected to maintain the policy rate at current levels and at least until the end of the next year. So we may see dollar index under pressure into the coming days. We are not expecting it to test the higher, the level of 100 on the higher side, and I think it will remain consolidated within the range of 95 to 90 levels into the coming sessions. As far as rupee goes, so the rupee bonds have consolidated ahead of the July CPI data. The Indian sovereign bonds have consolidated which may shed some light on the outlook for monetary policy. Keeping an eye on the RBI action front, I think it will check a recent yields uh, in the before Friday 300 billion bond auction. We are keeping an eye on this activity of the RBI. So headline CPI print estimated around 6.26% year on year as compared to prior 6.09%. The market was expecting a CPI print to be higher than 6%, although the final outcome may be very different given the randoms of data collection amid the pandemic. So any print above 6% will further the cement, will further cement the view that there will be no rate cut at least in the next policy meeting. So going forward, India's inflation, food inflation is likely increased to 8% from 7.3% in June. So we are estimating an increase into the food inflation. It is driven mostly by the higher tomato prices, which have surged 97% month on month in July. So expecting food inflation to remain elevated until the end of the monsoon season in September. A lot of waste of perishable foods will be increasing during the Euro season. So we are estimating an increase into the food inflation for the coming months. Also, looking at the other part, the unprecedented government bond and the prospect of prolonged interest rate paused by the central bank is sending jitters across India bond market. Yields have risen since last week, a surge in July inflation which quashed hopes of any immediate monetary easing. So for the first time in almost a year, underwriters have stepped in order to push the 10-year bond sale over the line on Friday, further sign of flagging demand for sovereign debt. The fundamentals aren't friendly anymore for Indian government bonds. The supply overhang from widening the fiscal gap is going to be a big negative ahead, while there are no signs of widely anticipated deficit monetization in the pipeline. While the RBI has refrained from debt monetization like the Indonesian Central Bank, it has reduced interest rate by almost 150 basis points this year and have sporadically intervened in the bond market. However, its silence amid the recent spike in the yields is making the market anxious as we are facing a 12 trillion rupee of federal bond supply this fiscal year. On top of the lower dividend payout by the RBI to the government has spurred speculation that the administration may have to further raise its borrowing plans, which will, not help into the year-end balance sheet of the country. So, looking at all the factors discussed so far, I think dollar index will remain consolidated within the range of 90 to 95. As far as rupee goes, rupee will be in a very tight range or a narrow range in a horizontal consolidation, maintaining the levels of 75.50 to 74.35 at least for the coming month trading sessions.